Signs. It's the next film written and directed by M.Night Shyamalan, and it stars Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, Abigail Breslin, and Rory Culkin. Signs takes place on a farm where Mel Gibson wakes up one morning to find crop circles in his cornfield. At first, he believes it's a hoax until strange crop circles start appearing all over the world and other things start happening, like he sees an alien on his roof and in the crops. And then he starts to wonder if maybe this is a hoax or maybe something a little more sinister. Signs was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. If you had come up to me and asked me what one of my favorite movies was when I was 10 years old, I would have said, "Who the hell are you, random stranger?" But then I would have said, Signs. I was obsessed with this movie when I was a kid. I watched it so many times. I actually started a tradition when I was a kid that when my family, we would go to visit my grandparents in North Dakota, I would watch the movie Signs while going up there. I had an uncle who lived nearby who had a farm and had corn on his farm. And I'd always imagine aliens were hiding inside the corn. It was ridiculous, sure, but I remember loving this movie when I was a kid. I got into all the special features of this movie. This was during that time when I started getting into movies, started getting into how they were made. And I loved watching the behind the scenes of this movie over and over again. Shyamalan's directing here is pretty good, actually. He's able to direct these creepy scenes really, really well. Like the scene where Graham, Mel Gibson's character, goes into his daughter's room and looks out the window and sees an alien on the roof. That is a excellent, creepy moment. Oh, that still creeps me out even watching it now. Is that, of course, followed by a really funny scene where Mel Gibson and his brother, played by Joaquin Phoenix, run around outside because they think it's an intruder, try to scare the piss out of him by swearing and all this stuff and freaking him out. And then they find out that this intruder is apparently able to jump onto a 10-foot roof in a couple seconds. So they start to realize, hey, maybe this isn't a normal person. And that's a creepy transition. Spielberg did something similar in Jaws, with mixing comedy and horror, when Roy Scheider's character is chumming chum into the water and the shark pops out for the first time. And it's kind of similar in a way here, because it goes from a very comedic scene to straight up creepy terror. For this film, Shyamalan talks about how he was inspired by the original Night of the Living Dead, The Birds, and the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the 50s. And you can really feel that, the seclusion of this family during this huge event that's going on. Because yeah, there's a huge alien invasion going around the world in this movie. But it's really secluded because you only know what these people in this house know, really. And that really works really well in this. The seclusion feel really makes it scarier in this one, and I really like that because you don't always need to see the White House blow up, even though that is fun to see. You don't always need to see all this carnage. Sometimes just the creepy, subtle aliens attacking you in your home where you're supposed to feel safe. That is scary. Tak Fujimoto did a cinematography for this movie, and his cinematography is excellent here. The way he was able to shoot it so it looked very dark and creepy, it just really works for the tone of this and how secluded they are. I love the look of the farm, of the cornfield. By the way, the crop circle in this movie is man-made. That's not CGI. This is 2002. They totally could have CGI'd that. Nope, man-made, and that is awesome. But I love the way Tak Fujimoto shot, like, the pantry scene later on, where an alien is in the pantry, and Mel is trying to see the alien with a knife, sticking the knife under the door and stuff. That's a fantastic scene. It's really suspenseful watching that scene, and it's unsettling when we do see something of the alien. Now, the acting in this movie is a little bit of a mixed bag. Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix are fantastic actors, and they work really well here as brothers. I really do believe the brotherhood that they have, the fact that they do well bouncing off each other in conversation, I buy that. Now, the kids, not so much. Rory Culkin, he's just not a good actor. He's really not. He has the same expression when his sister's about to be attacked by a dog to when he's just in the car driving into town with his family. It's really bad. Abigail Breslin, she's like 4. So, you know what? I'm not going to harp on her acting. So, I'll give her a break, obviously. But Rory Culkin, come on, man. Shyamalan, you couldn't have gotten a better kid actor. Haley Joel Osment was great. You couldn't have found another one like that. However, I will give him credit for 2 scenes, because in these 2 scenes, he actually does show acting chops. The first scene is when they're having their final supper, when they are sure they're going to die. The aliens are about to attack, and they just want to have one last supper together as a family. And so they're sitting down. Now, Mel Gibson's character is a character who's lost faith. He used to be a pastor, but his wife died in a tragic car accident. And so he lost faith because of it, and I'll get to that a little later. But basically, Rory Culkin's character, he wants to pray before dinner because something bad's about to happen tonight, and he just wants to pray about it because he still believes in God. However, Graham, I'll just call him Graham now for the rest of the review, he doesn't want to because he's lost his faith. And there's this clashing that happens that's been there subtly throughout the movie where you can tell they're at odds, but they're not really saying it for a long time in the movie, but it's really obvious that they are. And here it comes to a head really well when he just starts crying saying, I hate you, you let mom die. That is a great scene, a great emotional scene. And the way Mel Gibson responds by he's trying to eat and still he just starts crying, and that is a great scene. Great acting from everyone in that scene. I wish there was more acting like that in this movie. Now, another thing about this movie that I love, absolutely love, is James Newton Howard's score here. This is his best work ever. I'll just say that. I'll straight up stand by that statement. It's his best work. I love this score. This is one of my favorite scores. Just every single title on this soundtrack, it's just fantastic. I love the way it goes through the different stages of the movie. Creepy, sad, dramatic, hopeful. It's so well and just amplifies. It really punctuates the scenes in this movie so well. I love the score. That is what a great score should do. Get you in the mood to watch whatever movie that score is for. Now, I've been kind of mostly talking this movie's praises, but I do have one thing I gotta bring up. And I know the haters of this movie, because there are quite a few haters. This is when his career got a little more debated amongst fans. And it got a lot more divided. This movie has a few writing problems that I don't get bothered by, like some people do. But I still have to bring them up. And these will involve spoilers with the twist endings. So if you haven't seen this movie, I will say right now, see this movie. But I will be spoiling the ending because I just gotta talk about it, guys. I really do. So the twist of this movie is that when Mel's wife was dying, she's telling him various things. And she tells him to tell his brother swing away because he used to be a baseball player in the minor leagues. And he has a baseball bat on the wall in their house. When she says this, Mel thinks something was just triggering in her mind to remember a baseball game. This is also how he lost faith. Which, by the way, really? You lost faith because she said swing away? She's dying, dude. She got a truck rammed into her stomach. I think she can say that. Dude, you lose faith? I'm never going to your church, man. You're the worst pastor ever if that's what makes you lose faith. Oh, my wife said something crazy when she died. I guess God's not real. Oops. How does one equal the other? How are they the same? No, come on, Mel. What the hell? But anyways, enough on that. What she meant by swing away, turns out, was not at all a baseball game. Was in fact, when the aliens come and invade, tell your brother to grab the baseball bat on the wall and beat the hell out of the alien standing in front of you. So you're telling me that had that not happened, they would have gone like, oh, baseball bat, what's that? We don't know what to do. Alien, oh no. Whoa. So with this knowledge, they're apparently able to go, oh, baseball bat. Oh! Now the cherry on top of this is, by the way, not the water. Because I'm okay with that. That should have been the only twist, that water hurts these aliens. Because I could totally buy that they come from a strange planet where they themselves do not need water. Maybe they need some other kind of substance we don't know about to survive. So water has nothing to do with their ecosystem, and therefore they may not be familiar with it. I can totally buy that. Sure, why not? Totally. But what is silly is the fact that apparently God had to kill Mel's wife so that Mel would do this, and now everything can go back to normal because at the end he becomes a pastor again. So now everything is back to normal, minus of course his wife, who has now been taken because God needed to convey this message that any logical person probably could have figured out, hey, beat the hell out of the alien. That being said, I still can watch this movie and enjoy it. I can look past that major plot hole, admittedly, and still enjoy the rest of the movie. Because I do find the movie creepy. I do like the characters. I like the look of the movie. Everything else about this movie I really, really like. I adore this movie, still even to this day. It's not one of my favorite movies anymore, though. I have to acknowledge when a movie has flaws. I do. It's only fair. But despite those flaws, I still really like it, and I'm going to give this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars because I just still love this movie, man. It's just a great movie. I do recommend you check out this movie. So, if you like this video, check out my review of The Villains coming soon, and like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.